Good morning, Patriots, or afternoon, or evening, or whatever time that it is. How are you doing today? As you're logging on, say hi. Where you're watching from. I do appreciate everybody that does jump on and say hi. Do me a favor. You're watching from Facebook. Please share this video. Also, if you're new to me, follow me. You can still send me a friend request and all that, but you know how that goes. If you're watching me on YouTube, how you doing today? Good to see you. Do me a favor. Hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. Also hit the thumbs up button. I would appreciate also if you'd share it from there. This is my YouTube. This is my Rumble. Everything I do will be loaded up to Rumble, including this one as soon as it's done. And my Telegram. And Telegram is where it's at. As I'm doing my shows, I send everything over to Telegram to kind of organize it. And a whole bunch of stuff doesn't make my shows just because some stuff I just can't put on here. So go check out my Telegram. Go join my Telegram page. I've commented the link a couple times. Also, if you guys have questions for my guest or myself, I'll be watching the chat room. So as you're jumping on, let me know you're there. And I do appreciate everybody coming on today. And I'm going to introduce you to a friend of mine. You've not heard of him. He's not widely known or popular or anything like that, like my buddy, Brad. But this is another good friend of mine. I've known quite a while. His name is Andy, and he's going to talk a little bit about something that, how you doing, Andy? I'm pulling you up right now. He's going to talk a little bit about something that he was over in D.C. on the 6th of January, and we're going to talk a little bit about his experience with that. And it's kind of relevant now, I think, because of you're starting to see people get arrested and stuff like that about that. So we're going to talk a little bit about that, what happened to him, and kind of stuff that's gone on since then. So how you doing tonight, Andy?
Great.
Why don't you tell us your story, and we'll go from there.
First of all these crazy QAnon people, 3 years ago, calling you guys, whoever, what is wrong? Where are you at? Well, about 2 3/4 years ago, I took a little concern to what was going on and actually voted for the second time in my life. And I'm over 40. So I voted when I was 18 and I voted last year because I always thought my vote didn't mean anything. Come to find out, I guess I was unfortunately right. So I took some concern upon the topics, the crazy shit that my buddies were talking that I have apologized to more than once, saying, man, thank you for trying to let me know what the fuck or what is going on in this crazy world. So, of course, I got to digging and, like everybody else, well, most of us anyways, find a lot of truth. So my wife has called me crazy. My employer sat down with me a little over a year ago, closed the door. The owner says, Andy, is everything all right? And I said, everything's great. I said, but let me go ahead and finish your question. My wife asked me last night, are you sure that everything's okay? And I mean, you're thinking clearly? I said, 100% clear. And, so little by little, I keep talking and, posting. Back when I had Facebook and some of the wonderful social media, I can log into Facebook for 2 seconds, 10 seconds, and they don't like me, so I'll be gone again. So I don't even mess with that. Parler, no. That's where this whole story actually kind of goes to, is Parler. So Parler I was actually, I look back when I had it, because I was on Parler for quite a while. Actually, I was on there 2 days prior to Linwood, 2 days prior, then Hannity, actually like 3 days. So I read a lot on there and posted a little bit. And the one picture that led to a visit was a picture that I posted to Linwood. And that's the only picture that really had me in it. That was actually me, because when I get into the story of the whole Capitol thing, I did not go in. I stopped where you're supposed to stop, at the wall. But since I was there, they tried to ruin me, my job, my family, and yeah, small town. I go to church. I do what's right. I don't like what's wrong. I don't like cheating. I don't like stealing. I like the honest to God's truth. And holy shit, come to find out there's not much of it around. So my wife says, I've been talking about, me and two of my buddies were always talking about going to the march. We're going to go. No. My wife, no. Well, Sunday, January 4th. Yeah, January 4th was a Sunday. And my wife goes, it probably would be a once in a lifetime opportunity. You could go. Of course, she waits until, the day before to give me permission. Well, Monday morning at work, a buddy of mine calls me and says, hey, dude, let's go to DC. I said, my wife said yesterday you could. I could. And he said, really? No way. I said, yeah. I said, you know what? Let's go. First of all, I've never been on family vacation driving. 4 hours is my max in a car. But for whatever, I sat down and told the owner about 4:30 Monday afternoon that I was going to drive to DC in one of his vehicles. We'll just leave it at that. And he said, absolutely. So we flew the United States flag the whole way there. We went through quite a few states: Kentucky, Ohio, West Virginia, Maryland, Illinois, Kentucky. I probably said, anyways, those states to get there from where we're at. So every time we stopped to get gas or whatnot, of course, these mask signs everywhere. I've not put a mask on one time, not one time on the trip, not one time in the gas station, not one time in a restaurant, not one time in all these mask-free fucking states. I didn't put one on. I haven't put one on. The only time I put one on, and it was the only one that if this was real, it's a painter's mask, and I did that when I painted a couple vehicles. So hey, that's the only time I put one on, and I didn't like putting it on then, but I put one on for these crazy people for sure, let alone two, or a face guard. So I'm proud of that. I don't even go to my son's soccer games, baseball games, if you're required to wear one just to get in. I'll watch it from the fence. I'll watch it from the outfield because I'm not going to wear one. And I would love for somebody to come to my house and tell me to wear one. Well,
let's get back to your trip to DC.
Well,
so you got there.
States never put a mask on. Okay, so all the way there, flying the old flag, proud. We stopped. My buddy wants to go ahead and go into DC at midnight when we got in the vicinity, and I wanted to stay about an hour out. I didn't want to go stay downtown, mess with the Antifa all night and all that shit, because I'm not going for that. So we stayed about an hour outside of DC, got up early, got there at 5 a.m., parked right on the outskirts. And Mike, I should have gave you the map. There's a red section that they have marked out, basically, from the Lincoln all the way down to the courthouse, to the White House. Don't go outside these red lines. So when we pulled up and parked, we got lucky, parked right on the corner. There was a bunch of guys from South Carolina, North Carolina in full fatigues. And I'm like, what the? And they start asking all these questions about where we're from and, what brought us here and this and that. And they said that, long story short, we prayed. I got some awesome pictures and video of that. We prayed before we walked up. So we had the Washington Monument in the background all lit up, American flag flying back and forth, wind was blowing, and the prayer was recorded. I got that on one of my discs in there. So that was really cool. And so, the day started out great. Did some sightseeing. I've never been to DC before. So we walked around, looked at our wonderful history, took pictures, got up to the top, Abe Lincoln. and security guard standing there with his mask on. You can't bring those in here. I said, what? Flags. The United States flag. We can't walk right through there and take a picture by the monument. I mean, it's not even inside. It's outside. It's just covering. No flags, especially that one. And
What?
This one, the front flag.
So they weren't allowing you to bring the United States flag where?
No. Specifically said, I can't bring the United States flag in to get a picture by the monument, by the statue. No. So didn't want any trouble. Didn't think much of it, but kind of did, but didn't want to because everybody was the most positive mood. Slowly but surely, people started showing up, and a lot of people. I took before pictures, during pictures, and after pictures, and I'm sure many of you have seen pictures. There was just as many people there as the same area, same flooded with people. So as we're marching down, after the president talked, after Giuliani talked, after they all talked, I said, let's go a little. We left a little bit early because I wanted to get on that walk a little bit early because I didn't want to be in that mess of people. So as we were walking, and CNN's getting in your face, wanting to ask you questions and this and that, and interviewing people. So I made it to make sure that they knew about Anderson Cooper. I shouldn't say that. From what I can find out, ask them.
I know you well enough. You got smart with them, didn't you?
No, I just they're CNN, just see how he's doing. Anyway, long story short, they ran off. They didn't stay around. I wanted to be asking questions. And then I've got a lot of pictures of other news reporters. The horse guy was right. The one that guy. But the thing is, it was a great day. Positivity everywhere. Christian flags flying everywhere. Not one rebel flag. I mean, just an absolute. I should have gave you a lot of those pictures. Absolute wonderful time.
Let me interrupt you just for a second. People are commenting that you're breaking up. You are breaking up a little bit. Let me just interject, and he's going to get to this part of the story. But his internet has been interrupted.
Many times.
Not. We'll get to that, but not any of his control. So if he's breaking up a little bit, understand that his internet has been interrupted. We'll get to that in a minute, though. You go ahead.
Let me see if I can move this close. But okay, so anyway, where was I at, Mike?
You was walking from the speech to the Capitol, and the media was there and all that.
Okay, so we get we walk in basically to the lawn area where towards in front of the courthouse, and as we're standing there, right when we got in, there weren't many people there at all. There were a lot of people up front, of course. I told my friend, I said, wow, let's walk on up as close as we can and see what's going on. Well, we're there listening to people shouting over megaphones, and just it was not Trump supporters. I can tell you that because I told my friend within about 10 minutes of being there that something's fucked up. Something's not right here. I said, there's people here, I told my friend, I said, there's people here that are here for a reason, and I don't think it's anything that we want to be involved with. So you heard megaphones when you were standing up there telling you to hold the line, break through. And I told my friend, I said, they wouldn't be doing that. Trump people would not be saying that stuff. But it continued, and it got worse. And then the next thing I know, I hear, I said, holy shit, there's a gunshot. And he goes, shut up. None of that's going on here. I said, okay. I said, there's a cloud of smoke coming out of that window up there. He said, okay. 30 seconds later, he said, holy shit. I said, what? He said, there's gunshots. I said, no shit. I said, from the same window. And he looked up, and they were shooting already at United States citizens from the window of the White House, or from the courthouse. I got hit 3 times.
From the courthouse or from the Capitol building?
Yeah, sorry, Capitol building.
Was that rubber bullets, you think, or something else?
I get hit with 3 of them. One in the left shoulder, one in the right forearm, and one in the right. The one in the left shoulder hurt so bad that I stuck my finger in it just to make sure there wasn't blood. But before I had the chance to do anything else, there was this canister of pepper spray that was shot in my direction, and it landed about 3 foot from me. And the guy that it rolled into picked it up. I picked it up for whatever reason, and it ended up coming back right to me. And I had quite a few older women around. 70s that showing their concern. Crying for the United States, because that's where we're at. Where they're crying. They've got 30 years on me, so I can't even imagine some of their thoughts and feelings. My dad died 6 years ago and doesn't know a god dang thing but lie. All he knows is his life he doesn't even know his life was a whole lie, and that's the shitty part. But anyways, at least I don't have to deal with this crap now.
Right.
It got worse. It got so bad that after the pepper spray, couldn't breathe, couldn't see, obviously. I got pictures of that as well. My eyes all swelled up, nose nonstop running. They would go ahead and be polite and go ahead and send one of those, what do they call those, boom grenades? Shot grenades? They'd go ahead and shoot those right. Yeah. So they would go ahead and shoot those right over the top of you when you couldn't see and couldn't breathe. And of course, a lot of people were falling down and everybody's freaking out. It's remind me of being in grade school and seeing a video of Libya when that shit was going on. That's the only thing I could think of. And I've never in 45 years thought for 10 to 20 seconds, my life is over. I came to DC to get killed. I came here to get killed by the police. It was the craziest feeling I've ever had. 10 to 20 seconds of thinking I was not leaving, that I was dead. I pulled 2 women out of the way that couldn't breathe, couldn't see, but I couldn't. It was crazy. I couldn't stay because I was in the same way, and I stumbled around to the wall, and it was horrible. So then I walked down to the bottom, and I'm 99% sure an Antifa guy tried to assist me. He set me up and gave me a sign and tells me that this sign is for what I went through. And I'm thinking, it's a cat. I don't have it, obviously, because I left it there. That's where we'll get to that. That's where the picture comes into play. So this sign's Capitol Police, no trespassing sign, like a cardboard thing that was on the fence before it got torn down. But before that, where they were letting those people in, I got pictures, and I told my friend, something's not right over there right here. I said, they're getting in, they're letting them in slowly. They're not fucking with them. Nobody's getting sprayed. Nobody's getting shot. I said, watch right there. We're driving back the following day, and he's
okay. Hold on a second, Andy. Hold on a second. Let me clarify what you just said. So you're saying that the crowd was being peppered sprayed. They were shooting flashbangs. They were using rubber bullets. You'd been hit by a couple of them. There was little old ladies that were suffering as much as you, but there was a section. There was a section of the crowd that wasn't happening to, and that's where they let them into the Capitol. Is that what you're saying?
110%. I witnessed it. It pisses me off when people tell me what went on there. I've heard on our way home, people were texting about all the rebel flags that they saw. All this crazy lies. It's absolutely crazy. You cannot believe anything at all about what happened there unless you were there. I'm telling you, there's no true news out there about what really happened. There's no true news out there what really happened. I wasn't inside, so I believe that the stuff that I see inside from the reliable sources, and I found an excellent one today that breaks everything down. All the actors breaks everything down to a science with the blood, with how they did it. He shows it in the hands. They're so good at it, and it's so sick that they're so good at it. You've got to, and I'll send it to you, Mike. You've got to see it. It breaks down the whole Bobbitt shooting. It breaks it all down, complete down to the actors' names, to their purpose, and it shows the exchange of everything. It's the most accurate. So, and that happened inside. But
well, let me add this. You was talking about the people were saying they saw rebel flags and all that stuff. Let me tell you, in the media, that's all you saw in the media. You didn't see the stuff you were talking about at all. You saw, and I could confirm what you were saying because I've talked to 4 or 5 other people that I know personally that were there. They all said the same thing you're saying. None of them went in the Capitol, though.
There, well, I can't show pictures on here, can I?
No, if you'd have sent them to me already, I could stick them up, but you didn't send it to me.
I got tons of video, and you can hear literally a war zone. I mean, it's right here. It's crazy to hear the gunshots, to hear me talking about, getting sprayed and, somebody saying, we need the Marines here. And I'm like, yeah, we do. That's all. I've got all that on video. It's so real. It's so crazy that for a week when I got back, I did not feel right. I didn't feel right at all. It was just it's PTSD is what it was. I promise you. It's crazy to think about it, especially after it just happened. But so all that goes on. Okay. And it's time to go. This is the 6th in the afternoon, about 3:30, no, about 4 o'clock. I told my buddy, I said, we're getting out of here. I've never seen so many police cars, ambulances, fire trucks, whatever kind of truck, vehicle you can imagine in my life. It was nonstop for at least an hour and a half of them coming in. The Capitol Police were firing on all the citizens of the United States. You all heard the stories about how AOC called in the National Guard before any of this shit even started. I mean, that we're not going to get into any name calling because otherwise, anyways.
Stick to the facts.
Left. We drove straight through a 15-hour trip, made it in 12. I pulled in my driveway at 7:26 a.m. January 7th. Not scared, but absolutely in shock, baffled by what transpired in the past 12 hours, not a little over 12 hours of my life. I mean, you can't even, if you look at the videos and the pictures and stuff, people look at me like, what? I said, yeah, here, look at this one. Look at this one. Look at this. These are on my phone. This is really what happened. Really? I haven't heard anything about it. And it's like, wow, that's crazy. So I go to bed that morning, Thursday morning, sleep for about 5 hours, get up, check my email. Just another email from, this one's a concerned citizen at abc.com.
Let's see if I got that one. This one right here?
That one right there. So, sales department. I wanted to make you aware of the fact that one of your salesman managers, so that right there, I kind of, first of all, the abc.com, and then that little dash slash, and they spelled my name correctly, was involved in the Washington riots yesterday. I don't know if you agree with his actions, but as long as he works there, I will not be shopping at your dealership. So I thought I needed to reply. No one, I wasn't probably going to get a response. It was some who knows, but it really confirmed my research and my thoughts. When I sent this email, I explained to whoever how exactly where I stand, how I feel. So then I also sent them a little video. And then I got the postmaster delivery failure message.
Is that this one here?
No. Go back.
Oh.
One that just has your message was undeliverable.
Yeah, okay, hold on. I got to find it. Is it this one?
Nope. Keep going. Just go back. This is what they had to go through to send this email.
Let's see. Because that's the email there.
It's the next one.
That's your story.
That one before. Keep going. This is still all the logarithm stuff to get. That. Mike.
Yeah.
You there?
Are you there? You're echoing real bad.
My wife just tried to call.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got these out of order, and I'm not sure which one you're wanting.
Well, just click through them real quick. I'll tell you to stop.
Okay, I'll start down here. Let's see. That one?
No, keep going. That's the one that they sent. Okay, keep going. That's my response.
That's your response. Okay.
Next.
That's the same one. That's just a screenshot of it.
Disney. I circled it too.
You circled it? Is it this one?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Right up top.
I apologize, folks. Technical difficulties with Mike.
There's where the email from. Postmaster@disney.com. Disney, the wonderful maker of childhood dreams.
I made this part just a little bit bigger so that you could see where it came from.
Yeah, so that's the generating server.
So you can see this server.
You know how messed up that is? Attending the march and waking up to that. I sat down with the owner, like I said before I went, got 100% approval. So, anyways, the following week, which would be February the 11th, I was in the back of the facility of where I work. And I had somebody call me on my cell phone and let there's no two gentlemen up front that I wasn't expecting, but didn't know if I had a few minutes. I said, send them on back. Well, they came back and I couldn't see them where I was at. And they said, Andy. And I was like, yeah, you got an office? And I said, this is as good as office as any. And they said, no, like, do you have an office? And I said, yeah, but this is my office right now. And then I saw 2 feet and then 4 feet. And I looked out and they said, the one said, do you have an office? And then when I saw that badge, I said, well, yes, I do. I guess have an office. So on that 200-yard walk up to my office, I'm thinking to myself, are these real agents? What are they going to, are they going to arrest me? I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't go in the Capitol. I didn't trespass. I didn't go anywhere I wasn't supposed to. I live by the Bible as best I can. None of you better be able to say perfect, but I best I can. And I have crazy thoughts going through my head of if they're even real, or who are they associated with? Are they going to try to take me to jail? I got 3 kids, wife. It's like all this stuff starts going through my mind. And let's just say, so there was a FBI agent and a Department of Justice agent, because they had received a letter at the FBI headquarters, and it's the FBI headquarters, kind of locally, that I was in a picture, and they needed to, basically, they told me this: we're in unprecedented times, and we have to follow every lead, no matter what the lead may be. They're working out of a satellite office because they're doing this to so many people. So they asked me, so after this letter that they had from another concerned citizen twice, with no return mail address, no return anything, no name, just the letter saying that me attended the riot, and here is a picture of it. There were 6 different pictures of guys. And we had already went through my phone of pictures because they wanted to see how close I got. Because I said, dude, I can show you how. I didn't go in. I wasn't even close to going in. So I showed them all the pictures. So they saw me after the gas, and they acted pretty shocked after I told them that. The email really got them. But it it was something, I'm telling you. It's always horrible. It's horrible because then a week later, I got a voicemail. Mike, do you have that?
Yeah, I think I got two of them here. You got this one. Is that the one?
Yep. So I a known number. I don't answer it, but I called back right away. That is the voicemail that I got. So back to the six. Sorry, back to the six pictures. The first one. They knew it wasn't me right away because the gentleman that they said was me was wearing a gray hoodie and I was wearing a black hoodie. And they said right away, and I said, well, guys, surely to goodness gracious, you can tell me without a shadow of a doubt that I'm a much better looking guy than that guy. I finally got a little smile on their face. That kind of broke the ice for more questions, which was good. I'm glad that happened because they kind of opened up a little bit and came out and said that these things that we're talking on right now, they tell me I'm not getting into religion, but these things are the devil. These things are the devil. They watch everything you do. They hear everything that you do. And when you're told that by a Department of Justice and an FBI agent, and then a week later, when he wants to visit you again, after being cleared of the picture because they found another picture, and that's the one I was talking about earlier of the one I posted to Linwood with me holding this sign that I was given by an Antifa guy to try to get me in trouble. And look, it got close. This guy was all there to help me, dressed in camo, and tell me that he was with the United States government. Didn't say what branch, didn't say anything. And then right away, I'm thinking, United States government and camo, and you don't know who you're with. Had no name, had a phony looking. It was a phony looking army badge. It was horribly. It wasn't even an army, but you could tell that was maybe what it was trying to be. So I took a picture with that sign, just holding it, and sent it to Linwood, and that's where that picture came from. So that voicemail right there. So that following Friday, the 18th of March, I get a visit from the same FBI agent, and now it's a Secret Service agent because they have to do a mental evaluation of me, the Secret Service.
Yeah, you're messed up now.
Yeah, mental evaluation. And as they're in my office, I've got people going in and out of my office, and the Secret Service guy was very in the end, he was a very, very nice, understanding, like us type of person. But he had basically a questionnaire form that they sent him with that he had to answer me all these questions. He apologized to me. He says, I'm sorry, I have to ask you one, two. And there was like, I don't know, 20 something questions. And then he had to have 3 names and numbers of people that know me that he wanted to call, that he had to call because that was part of the mental evaluation. So he apologized when he saw me conducting business with some of my employees that he had to be there. But he also tells me, we're in times that I thought I would never see. He said, I can't retire. And I said, how about we switch jobs now? What did you do to be able to do this? And he said, this is not what I wanted to do. This is not what I wanted to do. He said, I'm 2.5 years away from retirement. And I said, so how did you get to doing it? This is after all the questions of, are you a member of a militia? Did you have any assassination attempt thoughts? Have you talked with any of your friends about assassinating the president? Have you done this? Have you thought this? Did you see any of this? Have you done this? And it's like, no. I said, are there really that crazy people out there? And he says, well, 2 days ago, I had a conversation with a lady that was telling me what Bo and Joe and Hunter were talking about. And I said, really? He said, there's some real crazy people out there. He said, but it's no true supporter of who you are. And so that made me kind of feel good because then I don't know if these guys are on I don't know who, you don't know. You don't know. So I got to talking to this guy. He was one of the 8, and I never heard of one of the 8. And I said, one of the 8? And he said, yeah, at all times, there's 8 people that nobody knows about, prepared for anything possible around the president. You never see us. And I said, huh? He goes, I was one of them. I said, well, what are you doing here? He said, unprecedented. This guy also said, unprecedented times. Something I thought I would never see. Didn't really know if it really even existed. He said, but it does. And he's the one that told me that this thing is the devil. The Secret Service guy really stressed that over and over and over again. So he called the 3 people. I called them all before because he wanted me to call and let them know that he's going to be calling. And they all were like, okay. Because his name was rather comical, kind of like Pickle. We'll just put it that way, but it wasn't Pickle. So my buddies thought that obviously I was playing a prank on him until I put him on the phone. They're like, what the? So, I mean, this is, I get, and then I get home that night and we still don't have internet service. And I figured the wife didn't pay the bill. So the kids always were blaming it on and this and that. So my wife's like, I've called. And my oldest son's like, I've called too. I've left a message. I said, well, give me the effing number. I'm going to call. So I call and gentleman gets on the phone and I say, just got a question. I said, need to see if my wife paid our bill because my kids are griping at me about not having any internet service. And I kind of would like to have some service as well. He said, oh. And I said, what? And I said, that don't sound good. And he said, hold on just a minute. And I'm thinking, what? Hold on just a minute. So I'm on hold. Now I'm like, what was that voice for? Like a scared, like surprise. Whoa. And he gets back on the phone and he says, I'm going to let you talk to my manager. And I'm thinking, will my wife prepay for 6 months? No. So the guy says, sir, how are you doing this evening? And I said, well, I don't know. I was doing pretty good, but tone of voice makes me a little concerned. He said, well, there was some concern, not just you, but everybody, around you with this service was down for, I think, 48 hours. And we were like hour 72. And he said, do your kids play video games? And I said, yeah, a little. He said, because there was a direct hit on your house. We had to shut down everybody else's service because there was such a malware disruption that we had to make sure that everybody else weren't going to get messed up and we had to shut yours down. And I said, really? I said, could it have to do with anything else? He said, it's an outside threat. I guess it's just coincidence that my kids play video. Hopefully it's a coincidence. My kids play video games a little bit. They haven't played them. I mean, they don't play that much. It's not like they're. So I guess that's probably just another coincidence. So since I attended the march, I've had 2 visits by the FBI, accompanied by Secret Service, once accompanied by Department of Justice, the email sent to the dealership, the letter sent to the FBI in order for them to obviously come, mental evaluation, make sure that I'm mentally stable. I don't even wear a full hat. And then the internet service down. Here's the thing, is nothing has proved more to me ever than God pulled me there to DC. I don't drive. I don't do those trips. And to witness what I witnessed, to hear the stuff that I've heard that's totally false, to hear the stuff still today is very scary. And everybody needs to, do what you can, because there's a lot of crazy stuff going on right now.
That's the truth. So let me ask you this. So on all your trip, from the day you left here, you went out there, you did your thing, and you came back. Did you break any laws? Speeding laws? There's no laws against gathering in DC, anything?
I didn't get caught speeding, but I did break the speeding law.
Okay.
Okay. But that's it. Wore my seatbelt, and it's not a law not to wear a mask. So all the places that I went in, I gave every one of those people that helped me, it didn't say a word, a tip. Every one of them I tipped for not bringing it up. They had theirs on. Everybody had theirs on. We didn't have ours on.
I haven't worn one yet, except when I took my mama to the hospital one time. That was it.
Well, you have to do that for your mama. Anyways, Mike, I've got all those pictures. If anybody wants any of those, I can give them to you. My phone's going to go down, and my wife is calling again.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, Andy, I appreciate you jumping on, sharing. A lot of people out here commenting. They can't believe what you're saying. They're shocked. No questions, really. But is there any last parting words you want to give?
Pray. Pray. And pray and know who your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ is.
Let me add one more thing. Let me ask you one more question.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think is going to happen in the next week or 2 or 3 or 4? Put you on the spot.
Fucking awesome. Great. I felt it the whole way. I've not once gone back. I've not once. My wife will call me crazy for sitting here when she gets home knowing what I'm doing. I mean, but she knows. I mean, she's very much awake, but she thinks that she doesn't quite think it's going to happen. Let's just put it that way. And it's going to happen. It's going to happen. This Linwood, these guys going around to Tulsa and stuff, this is a tour. This is a wake-up tour. He's calling out that Linwood put it right on the side about the children. Yes, or in Tulsa. If you haven't seen that video, you need to see that video because they're letting everybody know, hey, the stuff that you've been hearing, this Q thing, Flynn said it today. He's real. It's real, and he's right. So they're saying all this stuff in the last 24 hours. You know, saying Q is right, saying, you know, talking about the kids being raped, being tortured, being eaten. I mean, they're talking about this now on a tour. I mean, if it's not happening, I don't know why are they doing it? Because it is. It's happening. That's why they're doing this. And I'm going to go to the one in Nashville. There's a reason they're doing this. This isn't. Why would they be doing it? Why would they be doing multiple stops? Talking about the children, talking about this stuff, talking about you've got to watch. They talk about everything. They talk about it all. It's a good thing. It's happening. Hold on. God bless. I got to go.
All right, Andy, I'll talk to you later, my friend. You have a good one.
You too.
I'm going to sign off here. Ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. That's my friend Andy and his story. I've known about this story. I've kind of hinted at it a few times. I've known about this story since he got back because we're pretty close friends and I do a lot of business with him. But so everything he said is a God honest truth. I've seen the pictures he's talking about. We just didn't get all that arranged before we did this. So anyways, as you guys, it's pretty wild. Just think about everything that's going on. And you add this together with all the stuff that they're doing right now, as far as arresting the Oath Keeper guys and the Proud Boy guys and all that stuff, you got to imagine that there's something. I mean, it's building to a crescendo. It is amazing. So with that, I'm going to jump off here. Do me a favor. I'm going to post it one more time. Go over to my Telegram account. Everything will be loaded to Telegram and Rumble. If you're having trouble hearing this or seeing this or Facebook's muting this, just go ahead and go over there because it'll be over there and you can watch it over there and they have free speech over there. I'll be on my show 8:30 in the morning and we're going to talk about this verdict and whatever disaster comes tonight. So talk to you all later. You guys have a great day.